Right, come on then, Gully.
Okay.
Why is Kitchen Nightmares so good?
You've got a snail in your hair.
What? Oh, Jesus Christ! PMKETV with special guest star Gulliver Ellis.
Hello.
We're very alike. This is in fact my son, a real teenage boy, ladies and gentlemen. Gulliver, would you mind if I asked you some questions on sort of current things that you're interested in?
Okay.
Just to give the older viewers amongst us an insight into your world.
Yes.
Why is Kitchen Nightmares so good?
You've got a snail in your hair.
What? Oh, Jesus Christ! Oh, from the photo shoot! Bloody hell!
Right.
Is there anything else in my hair? I'm paranoid now. Oh God, it reminds me of when that spider was upstairs.
No.
Thank you,
All right,
I've been
okay.
checked. Gulliver,
Yes.
why is Gordon Ramsay's Kitchen Nightmares so good?
Because it's just great how he just shouts at everyone. And when they just do anything wrong at all, like the scallops are undercooked yet again, lots of swearing.
So you find that entertaining?
It is entertaining.
But I was talking to Phil about this earlier. As far as I can see, he only shouts at people when they deserve it.
Yeah, there is a justice.
He's not horrible
so it's not
to people for no reason, is he?
Yeah,
It's
and if they are good at cooking. So he seems like a not horrible person, which is...
So do you enjoy seeing what they're cooking, or is it nothing to do with the cooking? Is it just because he's shouting at them all? And
It's the drama and the cooking and the people in it. It's very kind of... You just get involved in the whole show.
get involved in their lives,
Yeah.
don't you? So how does that compare to the Bake Off for you? Because they're not horrible in the Bake Off, are they?
No, the Bake Off is, I think, is more of a kind of older...
For older people.
Yeah, I like it still a lot, but Kitchen Nightmares is so much more dramatic than
It
Bake
is.
Off. I mean, obviously, they're only cooking one thing.
I like it when the diners can hear Gordon Ramsay arguing with all the people in the
They're all
kitchen. They're all like... So, did you know, you probably don't know, because, well, I didn't know until today, that Nadia, who won the Bake Off last year, is going to have a 2-part series on her own coming out, where she goes to Bangladesh, where her family comes from. Well, I don't know if she actually goes there, but she's going to cook some Bangladeshi, like, Indian food. Do you think that sounds good?
Okay, that sounds good.
Would you watch that, do you think?
Yeah, I would watch that. It sounds like a very interesting type of show. Obviously,
Excellent.
we know her from the Great British Bake Off.
Yes.
Well, I don't really know many people who actually do anything afterwards.
But then I suppose we don't really watch television as such.
No, that is true. It's generally just Netflix, isn't it?
But yeah, so I wanted to ask you briefly, because we've just finished watching the latest season of Vikings, which you pointed out you're not actually supposed to be watching. We were there, making sure he was okay, not traumatised. What did you think of that?
I think it was a lot better than the last series. The last series was awful.
Really?
Well, awful in retrospect that the other series was so good, and the third series was kind of a bit of a letdown. Well, they had to have that weird series which leads on to the fourth series, which then leads on to the whole other set. But
A bit like that Harry Potter thing that went on and on and on. It was just all a bit grey, and they were walking through a field for 2 hours.
Yeah, it's a bit like that. They tried to invade Paris. I'm not trying to spoil everything for you.
Spoiler alert!
Loads of people got really depressed, and one of our favourite characters, Floki, got kind of caught up in all this stuff because he killed a Christian, which they're like. It's very complicated.
Are you looking forward to the next series already?
Yes, I'm not too sure about the 4 brothers. I think they need to be killed.
Oh, what, Ragnar's grown-up kids?
I think they all need to be killed ASAP.
Okay.
I think. I like Björn because he killed a bear and then dragged out some man's intestines under a tree.
A lot of the time, you're glued to your iPad. I don't know what you're doing. So what are you currently mainly doing on your iPad with your headphones on?
Oh,
What are you watching and doing?
There's so many things on YouTube. It just goes on, like, I'm subscribed to about 15 people at the moment.
Okay. So who's your top 3, briefly, and why do you like them? Do you still like PewDiePie?
I've gone off him a bit. He seems a bit kind of...
Is he a bit old hat? You were saying about some Irish bloke you like. Who's
Yes, Jack Septic. He's Irish. So basically anyone with an interesting accent, I think that goes a long way. For some reason, I don't know why.
Yeah.
Even if the quality isn't, like, the thing which he's doing isn't entertaining.
So it's his voice and his... Has he got a good character as well as his voice?
Yeah, he's just really hyperactive.
And what's his thing? What does he do? What's it about?
He just screams.
And has he got a good character as well as his voice?
Yeah, he's just really hyperactive.
And what's his thing? What does he do? What's it about?
He just screams.
Do you think I would like him?
Hard to say.
Am I not the market?
Probably not.
Is
probably
it for kids?
Not. More so, I mean, probably like 20s.
Okay.
20s.
So it seems like you like quite adult things. You like adults cooking and shouting at people.
Well, I've always been kind of brought up by you on more adult things.
Well, I suppose that's partly being the youngest, because Gulliver has a brother who's 16, but then they also have sisters who are now 26 and 21 who used to live with us. So we've always had older kids in the house and older things going on. So yes, I suppose.
So it's kind of like, if it was for kids my age or something, it would just be, I think.
Okay.
Weird.
Are you playing any games on your, what's your top app at the moment?
It's more about the YouTube, really.
Okay, so it's not on apps, we like YouTube. Okay, interesting.
Yeah.
Favourite book? Are you still reading a lot?
Not really. Well, I've actually, you're going to probably make me sound a bit like a nerd here. But I thought, well, I'm bored. I'm going to read some German books today. And I started off reading 5-year-old German books. So reading...
For 5-year-olds?
Yeah, 5-year-olds in German.
There was one about a rabbit planning his mum's birthday, wasn't
there? That kind of level of story. I don't know why I did that, actually. I think
well, I suppose you wanted to gain confidence because you'd never read a book in German before.
Yeah.
So have you moved on to more difficult books?
No, not yet. I'm just going over the rabbit story at the moment. Very in depth. There's a lot of things going on in the background. The two brothers get into a fight and they sort each other out.
So do you think that's a good way to learn a language then, trying to read a book in that language?
Not speaking it, because if you just read books, read fluent German and write fluent German, that's good, but then you can't have a conversation with
someone. You need to do the whole thing.
Yeah,
doesn't your German teacher just teach you by speaking at the moment?
No, because I moved up.
If you could, and being sensible, but within the confines of what school is and what it's there to do, if there was anything that you think could be improved or changed about the way school is run or the lessons are put together, what would it be?
Well, in France, they basically have this weird thing. I'm not sure exactly how it works, but on Wednesdays they get a half day, or they can choose to spend off, and the lunch times and stuff are longer. However, I think the school days are longer in general, so you still get the same amount of learning time, except Wednesdays are in half, but you can choose to come in anyway, and on the weekends to get taught. So
are you saying you think there should be longer breaks and perhaps a break midweek, that it's a bit too much going on all day for 5 days?
Because if you think about it, you might start working on something which you're really interested in and then go on the next thing, and it's very tiring, and maybe you don't get, like, you're not doing much in break and you're just kind of sitting around maybe doing some homework which you haven't done or anything, and then it's just work all day, and then probably the standard would drop a bit. So break. More breaks, please.
Well, thank you very much, Gulliver, for that insight into your reactions to the world around you.
Gulliver for President 2016, I think. Yeah.
Right, come on then, Gully.
Okay.
Why is Kitchen Nightmares so good?
You've got a snail in your hair.
What? Oh, Jesus Christ!